If you're raising kids and feel like money is getting tighter every month, you're not crazy. I think a good way to ease into budgeting is actually just start with tracking. Don't even set up a budget yet. You don't have to create a budget in one night. You can adapt and evolve over time. So the steps that we want to go through is 1, your monthly income, 2, focus on your big expenses and then track the things that move. 3 is use a simple account system. 4 is actually then creating the budget after you've been tracking it. And then last, have some short check-ins. Most budgeting advice assumes you have time, energy, and perfect discipline. But if you're raising kids, you got none of that. In this video, I'm going to walk through a simple budgeting system designed for exhausted parents that helps you stay in control of your money, because that's what it did for us. The problem with most budgets is that it's just complicated. Parents are already mentally overloaded. Life with kids is already unpredictable. A lot of people probably quit budgeting because it becomes another stressful task. It could also be stress on the relationship. So a good budget for families needs to be flexible, simple, and mostly automated. So step 1, starting simple, is know your monthly income. Look at your bank account or wherever you get paid. If it's bi-weekly, makes it easy. Through none of these numbers, we're assuming. We're actually looking at everything. You could simply look in your checking account, see what your paycheck is. If it's bi-monthly, you could simply double it. So if you get paid $1,000 every 2 weeks, double it, $2,000 a month. Just note there could be a couple months a year that you get an extra paycheck, so just remember that. If your income varies, just try to be conservative. Don't try to state you make more money than you actually do. That's only going to hurt you. So once you know your income, that becomes the foundation of your entire budget. Step 2 is focus on the big expenses and then track the things that change. So typical big expenses, housing, whether you have a mortgage or renting. This includes utilities. Utilities can vary. Some people might choose to set up a fixed amount so it's easier for budgeting. Other expenses, food, and that includes groceries as well as restaurants. Next would be vehicle payments. Next, debt payments, whether it's credit cards or student loans, and other expenses like childcare and insurance. Now, a lot of these expenses, especially the big ones, are usually just fixed costs. They don't change. Like your mortgage or rent stays the same. A car payment stays the same. It gets tricky when things start moving, like utilities or groceries or anything that varies week to week. So from there, I personally have a Google Sheets set up. This is what helped us a lot, especially for my wife. It helps us track what we have. So I'll show you an example of the buckets that we have some things split up with. And what worked for us is that we actually record it as soon as we make a purchase, straight from our phone. I originally had the idea, I'll sit down with my laptop at the end of every single month, maybe half hour, and get the budget done. Guess what doesn't happen? Life is unpredictable with children. So setting up Google Sheets and just going straight to your phone is much easier. Especially at the end of the month, you don't have to try and remember what happened 3 weeks ago. Like we get groceries, get the receipt, get in the car, put it in. So here's some columns that we have in our budget, and you can see how it has like groceries, restaurants, and kind of different sections. You could have it split up differently for how your life is set up. But these are the ones that are variable costs, things that do change. So if you buy something, it takes 5 seconds to just put it in here. And you can see at the bottom, it just sums it up. So this is a good way to track things. I think a good way to ease into budgeting is actually just start with tracking. Don't even set up a budget yet. Tracking gives you an idea of how you're already living. There's no guessing. Scenario, you sit down with your partner, you have an extra 15 seconds of life because maybe the kid went to bed a little early. And then you ask, hey honey, how much do you think we spend on groceries every month? Boom, argument. One person might think you spend more. One person might think you spend less. No thinking, especially with new kids, you can't think. So actually tracking to look at what you're already living like is better in my opinion. And by now you can see how your partner needs to be involved. Giving your partner a heads up to talk about this is probably a good idea. Don't just jump into it. Some people need time to mentally prepare to talk about money. For me, just because I'm financially minded, I could talk about investing at like 10:30 at night, ready to go. Some people you gotta bring up like, hey, I want to talk about our budget, maybe later today if we have time, and then we could discuss. Just don't go into it like an interrogation. How much do we spend on restaurants? Step 3 is using a simple account system. Here are all the accounts that you can have. Checking account. That's it. Keep it super simple. Money coming into this account and then money coming out of that account. Don't have multiple accounts. I feel like multiple accounts complicates things. We have a bill on that account, so we got to transfer over there to make sure that payment is due. One account, simple. Later we could talk about like a savings account or investing, and also try to automate as much as possible. It lessens the burden of paying for things. So you could start small, like use the rest of the month to just get your stuff set up. Organize the accounts that works best for you. Set up your Google Sheets so you could easily track on your phone. You don't have to create a budget in one night. You can adapt and evolve over time. So now that we've actually started tracking things, we know what we're spending on, we could actually set up the budget. So you already know your income, that's kind of simple. Minus your expenses, the fixed costs, and now add in those tracked columns that you've been looking at. And this will give you your cash flow. Cash flow is king. Now when you're setting things up, I'd suggest that you should automatically save or invest your money. You shouldn't have a mindset of like, all right, whatever's left over, then we'll save that. No, I force ourselves to invest into retirement or to save money. So just like an electricity bill, like we're saving $100 a month, that's an expense. And you could set up automatic transfers into your savings account. Or like a Roth IRA. We're putting $100 into a Roth IRA for retirement. That's an expense. And you could start adjusting other columns to make sure that you can actually do these things. You could start seeing, hey, if we bang out this debt, that would free up some cash flow so we could do more with it. That's what we did. We paid off tens of thousands of dollars in student loans, freed up some cash flow, and now we're able to max out the retirement. And going back to those columns, you could be flexible. Like for us, we have an amount in restaurants, but we don't go out a lot. So if we need more for groceries or maybe for like baby, you could take some from restaurants and put it in other columns. So you could kind of balance things out. Once we had this set up, we could track things easily. Me and my wife know how much we could actually spend in each category. A lot of things are set up automatically. It becomes easy. And that leads you to step 5, so you can have short check-ins. You could give your spouse a heads up like, hey, we're going to have a check-in on the budget, see how things are going, maybe at the end of the day or at the end of the week. You could do this weekly or even monthly. You could check in on upcoming expected costs, like if you know some weird expenses coming up. It's not a common expense. Like our son just had a birthday this month. We knew that was coming up. So we discussed like how are we going to adjust some columns to make up for this. And you should always have a miscellaneous column, especially if you have kids in a family. Like there might be an unexpected doctor visit, unexpected pet expense, unexpected house problem. You need a miscellaneous column. There's always going to be something weird each month. It's never going to be a normal month. Just accept that. Now, as you're doing this, you can adjust your spending, your tracking, or your budget if needed. Just be adaptable. And I'd suggest continue to scan your accounts or your statements because you might have forgotten some like auto payments that just come out of your credit card, whether it's like for streaming or some other membership. So just make sure you kind of track all of that. But this keeps you aware of your finances without obsessing over them. So the goal of this is to remain consistent over time. And we're trying to make this as simple as possible so we do remain consistent. It's not going to be a perfect budget every month. Like we had this set up for like a year or two now, and I kind of just copy this tab over to the next tab for like a new month. And if we don't like how something is set up, we change it. Like, hey, let's add another column. Hey, let's do this differently. So focus on the simplicity of this system. Because when things are easier, it's more likely that you'll do them. It reduces any decision fatigue because everything is tracked. You already have it set up. Again, it's not going to be done in one night. And this is how you keep a positive cash flow. And this could also help you get out of debt quicker. Like you could force yourself to be like, hey, we're putting an extra $100 a month into credit card debt. pay off your freaking credit card debt. You should start thinking when you see like your payments or your debt payments, start thinking, if we pay this off, that payment gets freed up and you could use that for other things. So hopefully these ideas can help you like it helped us. We're just a young family trying to control our money more because we want to help younger families through real life and inflation because it is challenging out there. So if you have any other additional questions, comments, concerns, you can leave them down below. Any other suggestions that can help. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.